CinemaCon 2025 gave us new looks at 2 new Spider-Man movies, Superman, Avatar 3, Project Hail Mary, Mission Impossible 8, Tron Ares, Wicked for Good, Predator Badlands, John Wick 5, plus a Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel is actually in the works. This is real. This is going to be the craziest, biggest movie news episode ever.
CinemaCon is like Christmas for movie lovers. What a day. And I can't wait for all of these trailers to be released online. We got to look at the trailers for a couple of films we'll talk about later. M3GAN 2.0, which looks absurd. Tron Ares trailer dropped, so we can't wait to chat about those. We also got a huge uptick in the box office this weekend. But let's break down that box office. Then we'll get into, it seems like there's 30 big stories coming out of CinemaCon, as well as a bunch of really cool trailers were finally released. Fountain of Youth starring John Krasinski and Natalie Portman. The Naked Gun with Liam Neeson actually looks really good, so we'll talk about those trailers later on. But let's take it away with the box office. And Minecraft resurrected the box office, performed a defibrillation and then CPR on it.
$57 million opening day.
Holy crap.
Opening weekend of $135 million for Minecraft, the movie. Great news for Warner Brothers and Legendary. What an absolute massive hit.
That's huge. I mean, the biggest box office haul this year so far was Snow White with $42 million opening weekend. This is triple that and then some. So this is by far...
Nice math.
Thank you. By far, the year-to-date, the biggest opening weekend, and projections for Minecraft had it at about 90 tops. But Warner Brothers said that there was a huge bloom in ticket sales this past week, and it just skyrocketed, and they called it a mushroom cloud effect of sales, and it just blew up. $135 million only on the domestic market. That's a huge hit. The theaters need this. Movie studios need this, so it's good news. The Chosen came in second place. Very strong holdover on its second weekend with $7 million.
What an interesting 1-2 combo
at
the
right?
box office.
And then Jason Statham, a working man, holding strong in its second weekend with $6.8 million. It's already closing in on $30 million domestic, so it's a hit big time. Snow White fell to fourth place in its third weekend with $5.7 million. It has only made $77 million domestically. It does not look like it will come anywhere near $100 million domestic, and right now it's at $140 globally. $140 globally.
God.
The estimated budget after tax breaks from shooting in the UK, $350 million budget.
That's including marketing. They're going to eat $200 million on that movie. Easy.
Maybe more.
Maybe more, because again, on average, movie theaters are getting around 49% of ticket sales. They get a cut. They don't play movies for fun.
In that case, Disney's made $70 million on the movie against the $350 million budget.
That's insane. So they're going to eat
They've made a fifth.
$280 million.
They've only made a fifth of their budget.
$280 million in the red.
Wow, that's awful. And then The Woman in the Yard doing a good second weekend with $3.7 million with a pretty good $15 million domestic. At that pace, it'll easily clear $20 million domestic and probably about $10 million for international territories for around $30 million box office for Blumhouse. So they know how to make the sleeper hits. And then Hell of a Summer, the other big release this week, Finn Wolfhard's co-directing effort, the slasher teen comedy, debuted with a pretty low $1.7 million. Not very good performer. Audiences and critics didn't really like the film, both a Rotten Tomato score from audiences and critics, and a pretty low Letterboxd score, so it was kind of a dud upon arrival.
Yeah, but the budget's only $3 million, so they really only need a couple of good weekends, and they'll probably make their budget back and then some, so it'll probably end up over time being in the green. Yeah. So, again, pretty small budget, $3 million.
That's true. That's a very small budget.
So
that's teeny tiny.
Pretty healthy box office, obviously top heavy with Minecraft, $135 million. Oh my gosh. Now, before we get into CinemaCon, which is going to be the bulk of this episode because there are like 20 crazy stories and reveals that we have to talk about from the big event, which is hosted at Caesar's Palace every year.
Pizza.
Let's talk about
You're wrong, Caesars.
Wrong, Caesars. Let's talk about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This dropped in April Fools. I hate April Fools because it always coincides with CinemaCon, and it's just like you get so many stories that are true, so many are untrue. And then there's news of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, a spin-off sequel with Cliff Booth as the center character in the works, with Tarantino writing the script and David Fincher attached to direct, with Netflix focuses mostly on Cliff Booth. I doubt Leo would be in there. And this is crazy. This is absurd. You know, we seldom get Tarantino sequels outside of like Kill Bill. That's really the only time he's done it.
And that was he made it in one movie.
Even though his movies are spiritual sequels like Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs are in the same world in a lot of ways. But to see this, a sequel of a script for his to get directed by someone else is pretty cool. I mean, he started his career with his scripts being directed by other people and doing script work. You know, I mean, True Romance, he wrote that script. Tony Scott directed it. So it's not something he's unknown for him, but it hasn't happened in a long time. And I feel like this is what his career is going to be like post movie 10, writing scripts that get directed by other people and writing screenplays and also plays and books. But I'm so excited about this. This is awesome. On
April 1st, I got sent this story by so many people, and I was like, oh, that's a good April Fool's joke. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a pretty good one. Like, how absurd is it? Like, Fincher's making a sequel to Once Upon a Time for Netflix. I was like, that's so crazy. Good joke, guys. But it seems to be very legit, and Tarantino has written the story. Pitt wanted to develop it, and Tarantino said, only if you get a great director. Pitt was like, I got David Fincher, baby. And I'm so excited to see this story unfold even further, but also this is going to be the first pairing of Fincher and Pitt since Benjamin Button a long time ago.
Like 2010?
That was coming close to about 15 to 20 years ago. They collaborated together, and they did so many great collaborations.
Little baby Elle Fanning.
Yeah, oh my God, little tiny Elle Fanning.
She's like this tall. She's like a foot tall.
She's 6 inches tall. And, I mean, obviously, Seven, Fight Club, then Benjamin Button, and then they just could never get the projects they wanted to work together on to get greenlit. And so this is just great news. The more David Fincher movies, the better, in my opinion. And the fact that it's coming from a screenplay from QT, I mean, I'm so excited for this. I can't wait.
He's a huge fan of Fincher, one of his favorite filmmakers alive today. So that's really cool, insane news. But now we have to get into CinemaCon. There is so much, so get buckled up in your seats. If you're on the treadmill, just plan on walking and running for a long time. There is so much to get into, but let's talk about the biggest ones at first. Of course, everyone's been curious about the 2 Spider-Man movies that are supposed to be getting released pretty soon in the next couple of years. We got news about Spider-Man 4, Tom Holland's film. It will be called Spider-Man Brand New Day, the first film in his franchise without home in the title. We got the title and logo reveal, plus a release date of July 31st, 2026. Tom Holland's going to own July 2026. He's got the Odyssey and then this.
It's his.
And I'm sure he'll be in Avengers Doomsday in May or June, whatever that is.
Maybe they'll keep him out
I'm sure
of
he
it.
has a cameo.
Maybe.
Sure, as a cameo. And then we also got our first look in footage from Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, which reveals Miles and Gwen reuniting, plus Miles fighting the Prowler before going on an adventure from him. They released stills online. The footage was shown at CinemaCon. Release date has also been announced. This will come out June 24th, 2027. So sit tight, be patient. This movie's not going to be out for a couple of years.
Yeah, and as we know from the ending of Across the Spider-Verse, the Prowler is alive and well in the new verse that Miles has found himself in. So I can't wait. And he'll be fighting essentially, maybe it's the Prowler that's his other self, Prowler, rather than his uncle.
No,
Prowler.
that's exactly who it is.
Right.
Yeah, Anthony's
It's been
only
a while. It's been a while.
It's
Everybody just unsubscribed.
He's fighting himself, Anthony. Did you see the
The
images?
duality of man.
It's Zelda versus Dark. It's Link versus Dark Link. It's
very Severance of the.
they're both Miles.
As I said, they're both Miles. Also, the title reveal for Spider-Man Brand New Day goes in line with the rest of the style of the font and everything of the previous Spider-Man.
Yeah, sure.
Tom Holland films. Yeah. So,
and Tom Holland says it's a fresh start. It's exactly what it is. It seems like a
they
reset.
didn't call it Spider-Man Rebirth.
You know this. I feel like it's gonna be they're resetting the IP and the franchise with the same Spider-Man, which is clever.
I think so too, and that's a really smart way to do it. Because if the whole world's been reset around him, except for him, which is cool.
Yeah,
I like it. I'm down. Next up, Superman news. James Gunn and the cast, including David Corenswet, Rachel Brosnahan, presented a new trailer with extended footage featuring Superman with his superpowered dog, Krypto, ahead of its 2025 release. This was also posted online by James Gunn on his Instagram. The new clip begins with Superman crash landing in a snowy environment, visibly injured and struggling, very similar to the opening of the first trailer release, and he calls for his super dog, Krypto, who rushes over to him but playfully jumps on him, unintentionally causing more pain because he's also superpowered. As Superman pleads for him to stop, Krypto eventually drags Superman to the Fortress of Solitude, which emerges from the ground with an S-shaped door. Pretty cool. Inside, Kryptonian robots, including one voiced by Alan Tudyk, rush to aid Superman tending to his injuries. As he recovers, Superman attempts to thank the robots, but they dismiss it, claiming they lack consciousness and exist only to serve. The clip features a new musical score and highlights the dynamic between Superman and Krypto, blending action, humor, and heart. I personally have not looked at this because I just want to save it because it seems like a good amount, a good chunk of footage of the film, it's not a sizzle reel, it's like an entire sequence. So I saved it. It is online if you want to watch it. I'm sure many of you have. But I hope people are enjoying it. I know that some people are complaining that he's not using the sun to heal himself and instead using these robots, but...
No, it's both.
Yeah, it's using both, but I know people are complaining that he's not embracing the sun completely, but it's just like, guys, I'm sure they've done it in the comic books. I haven't read them, but I'm sure it's happened.
The amount of criticism this movie's getting, and it hasn't even been released yet, it's insane. It's just this movie has a microscope on it like nothing I've ever seen before. I watched like the first 2 minutes because I want to save some for the movie as well. I watched up until the point where Krypto comes, and it's actually really funny to see the dynamic of Krypto because he's like a menace in a lot of ways.
He's not behaving as a dog.
He's inspired by James Gunn's real dog, who's actually a menace to him in real life, but also he loves him so much. So I think the dynamic was super funny. It gave us a great look at the tone of the film, I think, especially the humor, which is going to be in there. It's a James Gunn movie. And I stopped it when the robots showed up because I wanted to save it. But I looked at some stills. The Fortress of Solitude looks awesome. And this stuff is comic accurate to a lot of the comic books. So people need to relax, everybody.
It's a movie.
Relax. It's just a movie.
Enjoy it.
And speaking of Rachel Brosnahan, we just saw her in The Amateur, which was a really good movie. Check it out. It's in theaters this weekend.
Yes.
This upcoming weekend. Big thanks to our sponsor, MoviePosters.com, for sending us a poster of The Amateur. It's on my backlit frame right here. Use our coupon code Raiders10 at checkout to get 10% off. We also have an affiliate link in the description of this episode or our Instagram bios to get us 10% commission. Add that with your 10% off coupon, and everyone wins. It's a win-win for everyone. Go to MoviePosters.com to get your posters today. Next up, let's talk about Avatar 3, Fire and Ash. Cannot wait for this movie.
Woo!
They released the first official image from the film.
Is it online?
Yeah, it's online.
I guess.
Looks awesome. And James Cameron says the Ash people are the main adversaries of Fire and Ash. Alongside the humans, they are the former Na'vi, filled with rage. And a quick little recap of what they did. So they debuted footage with James Cameron in his next film. Zoe Saldana introduced a sizzle reel featuring the Sully family with the Water Tribe, new Na'vi allies like the Wind Traders, and the punk rock Ash people with their four-winged beasts. The footage included Neytiri flying through a canyon under attack, hinting at a visual spectacular continuation of the saga. I cannot wait for this film.
This looks like just a photo.
I know, it looks like real things.
It's a character riding some kind of animal beast along the surface of the water. It just looks like someone photographed it from like a set photographer.
Yeah,
that's unbelievable. I can't wait. I saw some people talking about the footage online. They said it looks incredible. The 3D really rocks, and I mean, I can't wait to see this movie. Come Christmas time, it's gonna absolutely destroy.
December 16th, going back to Pandora.
And again, I mean, we're all worried about theaters and movies having a downtrend year, but there's a lot coming out this year, and Avatar is also going to be that big jolt of lightning at the end of the year to really rejuvenate the box office in a big way.
It'll probably pull a Wonka where it just keeps going into January 2025 too, and just keeps bumping up the numbers.
Oh yeah, it's going to keep going.
It's going to make $3 billion.
It'll be playing into 2026. All right, next up we have a project that we are both very excited about. Woo! It's based on a novel, Project Hail Mary, starring Ryan Gosling. From directors Phil Lord and Chris Miller, they finally unveiled footage of this amazing sci-fi story, which comes out in 2026, positioning it as a huge potential blockbuster.
March 2026.
March 2026. The first trailer shows Ryan Gosling as a biology teacher who must travel through space after the sun begins to erode. We will include a friendship between Gosling's character and a very lovable E.T.-like an alien named Rocky, which we don't want to give anything away. Jazz hands. It's such a fun story, and it combines great elements of science fiction from the past that we really love. The story is really fun, but also extremely smart from Andy Weir, the writer of The Martian. So the science in the biology, it all is super advanced, and it seems very plausible. He's just a whip-smart writer, especially in that genre with the tech and everything. But on top of that, you love the characters so much, and it's a page-turner. If you haven't read the novel, if you like to read, check out Project Hail Mary. It's a really fast read. I burned through it in 2 days. It was just so entertaining. And if the book is that entertaining, especially with these great comedic directors, imagine how fun the movie's going to be. And so I think this is a sci-fi epic that could be both exciting, huge spectacle, but highly, highly entertaining. And Gosling really is a perfect lead for the role.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were going to spoil that there's an alien in it, and they have to. You know, they have to let people know it's an alien movie. They have to market it the way it is. But when I read the book, I went in blind, and I didn't know there was going to be one. It was so cool. But sorry, spoilers. The trailer's going to have the alien in the trailer, which I can't wait to see the design. And also his character, Gosling, he wakes up on the spacecraft after like cryosleep with amnesia, not remembering why he's there. Or he has to save the world somehow. He doesn't remember why he's there, how to save the world. Yeah, it's an awesome story. Check it out. Let's talk about 28 years later. A new trailer was shown at CinemaCon, and also Cillian Murphy is confirmed to be in the movie.
Woo! Let's go.
As quoted from someone, we're going to have to wait a little while to see him in the film, so he probably won't show up until the second half or even the third act. But Cillian's in the movie, which makes us wonder if Celine's going to be in there too. Maybe they're hiding her. Cannot wait from this. They also dropped a couple of new BTS and images and some stills, some more looks at Aaron Taylor Johnson plus his character's son with some bows and arrows, a new look at Jodie Comer, and another look at that very gaunt, skinny actor who everyone thought Cillian Murphy was as a sort of infected or a potential human.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait, man. I'm so excited. Only a few months away, man.
Oh my goodness.
Only a couple months away.
Let's go.
Fucking crazy, man.
Summer.
Holy shit. Next up, Avengers Doomsday presentation. Kevin Feige says Doomsday will focus on the Avengers, the Wakandans, the Fantastic Four, the Thunderbolts, and the original X-Men all fighting Doctor Doom. Filming begins in a few days. It's just going to be basically like a wrestling tag team match going after everyone taking their turn.
I wonder if Thanos is going to come back.
That's a fun idea.
I wonder if they bring
Thanos
need
his help.
back.
Yeah.
And I wonder if Doctor Doom kills Thanos.
Man,
that would be
intense.
comic accurate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There's a great comic book. I can't remember which one it is, but he literally pulls the spine out of Thanos.
That's pretty cool.
So I wonder if they're going to do that.
And it's will this all be a one giant onslaught, or will they all get their goes at Doom in different story elements, different narrative arcs?
Probably the latter, maybe a little bit of a mix for
rather than all of them
Wars.
Circling him and just taking a punch at a time.
No idea, dude.
Yeah, we'll see.
I have no idea what
That's
they're
a
gonna
lot
do
of
with
people to fight.
It is.
That's a lot of this is some Neo stuff.
Let's talk about Thunder. I'm almost rooting for Doom here. I kind of think I want Doom. I'm rooting for Doctor Doom.
James is like, fuck it, fuck all of you.
Let's go Doom, baby.
Baddies.
Let's talk about Thunderbolts. They had a great presentation, which Florence Pugh kicked off with the rest of the cast for this anti-hero team-up film. Releases very soon, May 2nd, in just less than a month. They had a stylish appearance. They had David Harbour drive a red limo, like in the movie. He pulls them up and pretends to be just like the driver of their crew. Wyatt Russell was pulled out of the crowd and dragged to the stage by them, basically drunk and hungover from the casino.
He had one of those big drinks, the big tall drinks.
Yeah, they were bickering on their way up there. It was a lot of fun. It was a good way to get excitement and do something a little creative here. They're all actors. They all know what they're doing. And we also got some new behind-the-scenes footage, heightening anticipation for this next big release from Marvel. Also, an exclusive clip from the Thunderbolts sees Red Guardian and Bucky bonding over their past before bursting the van through Val's watchtower, showcasing a full action sequence with the Thunderbolts. A new teaser was released yesterday morning as well. I'm very hyped for this film. I'm excited for it. I can't wait, and I hope that they nail it because this is a big movie going forward for the MCU.
Less than a month away.
Yeah.
And you know what? They're just having a lot of fun. I think that this was such a exciting, fresh way to introduce the film. It's very joyful, and they're being playful. You know what I mean?
They're
with the
being
marketing.
the characters. They're being anti-heroes.
I think it's fantastic to just loosen up and stop being. I mean, we need to stop being so rigid with marketing and let's have a good time.
Pretend to be drunk on stage.
Yeah, exactly.
Or actually be drunk on stage.
By the way, the absolute trajectory of Wyatt Russell the last 2 years. He's got this, then he's Spielberg's new film,
and he's got the King Kong franchise, the monsters.
Yeah, the Monsterverse. I mean, holy shit, this guy's blowing up.
I think the Spielberg movie in this, everyone knows him as a agent, but I think that the Spielberg movie would probably blow him the hell up. Household name.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because his father is, but he hasn't quite gotten there yet. He's still young, and he's still.
His dad's the man.
His
dad's the man.
The coolest guy.
Did you see? So Kurt Russell and Keith finally reunited.
Yeah, I saw that,
and it was just so fun. They met at John Carpenter's. I think it was a star party. they reunited for the first time in decades.
4 decades.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
40 years.
That's nuts. They haven't seen each other in that long. But I
Yeah.
mean, that's Hollywood. You know, people live all over the place. And
They both look great.
Yeah.
Keith David looks like he's barely aged. He looks great.
They're both just awesome looking dudes and
Yeah.
cool guys, and just 2 of the best characters from an all-time horror movie. You know what I mean? It's so cool to see that.
As such a big fan of the film and seeing it so many times, to see them reuniting, it was just like I was like, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
I love that. It's amazing.
They were so happy to see each other.
Yeah. It's great. All right, let's talk about Tom Cruise.
Of course he was
I
there.
mean, this episode we're gonna talk about our boy Tom. He did a ton at CinemaCon. Before we get into what he did specifically for his film promotion, he actually helped introduce the Running Man, and it was so great. And him and Glen Powell posing together. We'll talk about Running Man later, but I love how he just supports movies. You know what I mean? Even if it's not his own.
Plus, I think Glenn's sort of his protege right now.
Yeah. Glen called him his mentor. So Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie both went out there to promote and present Mission Impossible 8. This is going to be Memorial Day 2025. Oh my God. And they showed footage of Ethan Hunt escaping a train crash and facing a past foe, Gabriel, aboard the Russian submarine. Cruise also revealed Director of the Year award at CinemaCon to none other than Christopher McQuarrie, and he gave a really great little speech about McHugh, and he said the first main time that that McQuarrie helped on a Mission Impossible movie was in Ghost Protocol, when they were having trouble with the scene, and they were trying to figure out the dialogue for the gloves that didn't work when he was climbing the Burj Khalifa, and they said, okay, when it works, it's blue. When it's red, it doesn't work. And then McQuarrie was on set just helping write scenes and tinker dialogue. And Tom Cruise said, immediately, McHugh said, blue is glue, red is dead. And then everybody was super impressed, and that was like the first time McQuarrie showed himself to the mission crew in production as being very invaluable. And then Tom Cruise, he said, like, using that pedigree and their working relationship, hired him for the next 2 films. And then Tom Cruise also held a great moment of silence at CinemaCon to honor Val Kilmer, his filmography, including Top Gun. And he said, quote, "Thank you, Val. I wish you well on your next journey." And everybody's been so incredible online, posting great clips and their love for Val Kilmer. So it's great to see that the last few days.
Huge loss. Val Kilmer was an all-time movie star. Some of the best characters that, you know, I think if an actor could aspire to do. You know, Tombstone, so incredible in that. I mean, he's I've been seeing a bunch of his clips from extras pop
Oh
up.
my God, me too. Him and Warwick Davis.
Him and Warwick
It's
Davis
so
and Ricky
funny.
Gervais. It's so good.
They're trying to pitch a sequel.
Yeah, and there's a continuous bit on that show where Warwick Davis will introduce, like, oh, you want to meet Batman? And then Val Kilmer comes into a room with a random person with the Batman and cowl mask on. They're like, can you guess which one it is? And they're like, Christian Bale. No, not him. George Clooney. No, not him. And they go through everyone like, who else is there? Come on. All right, Val, take the mask off. Are you an actor? It's such a good bit.
My party trick.
He's so funny, and
Yeah.
he's got great humor. But you know, Val was a legend. Iceman, miss him. He's just a goat, man. He's an all-time movie star. Heat, one of the coolest movies ever.
People have been posting his Heat shootout all over the internet. What a fucking shootout. That's what I'm talking about. You can't top that shootout.
Real quick on Glen Powell though. So a little bit of tea.
Why are you smiling? What do you got? You got some gossip?
Got some tea.
Okay.
Did you see Sydney Sweeney broke off her engagement?
I do not keep up to date with who people are dating.
So she broke off her engagement. It's because you're not single.
I'm not one of the simps trying to see, oh, Sydney Sweeney's single now. Yes.
Not that I have a chance.
I have a chance.
It's not zero. She broke off her engagement, then she was at Glen Powell's sister's wedding like the next day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
at his sister's wedding?
Yeah.
That's pretty good tea.
Yeah, I think that
That's more than just friends. You don't just invite a friend to your sister's wedding.
no hard feelings, man.
Damn. Well, I mean, if I was that guy, I'd be like, well, I mean, I can't really compete with that.
It's fucking Glen Powell.
That's a pretty good tea.
Just
Just welcome to the TMZ section of the podcast, guys. It's E.
The T.
E. Oh, E. I work for E. Oh, E.
Knocked up.
Thank you. You got it. That's a pretty deep track reference.
Yeah,
nowadays.
I want to make sure people got it. E.
E.
Entertainment. All right, let's talk about Wicked. Wicked for good.
No more tea?
No more tea. That's
Okay.
all I got. A new trailer showcased emotional performances for the songs For Good and No Good Deed by the cast, including a release date of November 21st, 2025, exactly a year after the first film came out. We also got a look at Glinda and Elphaba reuniting. Elphaba starting her campaign. What?
Alphaba.
I said Elphaba.
Elphaba.
I said Elphaba. That's what I said.
I thought you were going to say alphabet.
No, I said Elphaba. Elphaba starting her campaign to expose the wizard. Just going to write a bunch of tweets. And then snippets of the original storyline of Wizard of Oz intersecting. Cool.
Yeah, we're going to see the original cast. I mean, not the original cast, the original characters.
Oh my gosh. Is Judy Garland's going to...
I'm sorry, not Judy Garland. Yeah, the original characters. Sorry, Judy Garland. Rest in peace. Oh my God.
Toto's still alive.
Toto is still alive. So that dog doesn't die.
Oh
Gotta have the dog.
Goodness, Anthony.
Anyways, back to Marvel and Disney. Fantastic Four. Their presentation included a reveal of new scenes confirming a fan theory that Sue Storm will be pregnant and likely give birth to Franklin Richards in this film. Set for release in 2025. He's going to be born invisible. Where is he? You sure he came out?
I wonder what his powers would be. I don't even know who that is.
This adds a significant layer to the MCU's Phase 6 narrative. They also revealed a new poster, new looks of the cast in spacesuits, and the new trailer for the Fantastic Four. Also revealed them having to calm the public of impending doom that Galactus brings. I'm sure everyone's going to be freaking out when they see a giant head in the sky. And then the first look at Julia Garner as a Silver Surfer was also included in the footage.
So Franklin Richards, I just looked up his powers. He's born with extraordinary powers. Franklin can manipulate reality and has vast psionic abilities.
What's psionic?
Psychic.
Okay.
Stuff. So I wonder if
psychic stuff.
I don't write comic books, Anthony. I wonder if they go like Incredibles route with the baby in Incredibles, how funny it is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That'd be really funny. If the baby's born in the movie. The sequel,
psychic stuff.
Psychic.
It was your pause. Psychic stuff.
Let's talk about Tron Ares now. Jared Leto and the man himself, the dude, was there, Jeff Bridges, to introduce footage of this upcoming film for its October 10th, 2025 release, depicting a collision between the digital and the real worlds, with his character Ares, entering reality from a digital realm. It shows also light cycles in the real world, as well as first looks at Evan Peters and Greta Lee in the film. The trailer just got released yesterday on Saturday, and it looks pretty damn good. I think the Nine Inch Nails music is going to be my favorite part of this movie. It's interesting to see the tech and the digital parts of the world from Tron in the real world. Obviously, that's what we were teased. So I'm very curious about this film. I love the first film. I love Tron Legacy so much. I like how they're changing up with the color tones now, really red and orange. That's the main colors, which obviously depicts a lot of villains in the Tron world. So I'm curious. Obviously, blending digital and reality is going to be strikingly visual. Hopefully they nail it. But seeing the light cycles on streets carving cars up was pretty cool.
Yeah, I love how just like in the Tron world, the streaming left behind by light cycles is extremely physical and looks to be impenetrable and like cuts. There's a cool moment where it cuts a car in half. So I like to see the integration of, like you said, that Tron tech and Tron. The Tron ideas in the real world. It's very interesting, and it looks like Jared Leto is playing a character who's morally gray because he's red, but and he said that his character Ares is on a mission, and going into the real world was part of his directive to carry out his mission. And got one slow-mo shot of Greta Lee who's falling, and then a shot of Evan Peters. Kind of hard to see what exactly is going on, and then it ended with a shot of Jeff Bridges in his yogi era.
His Zen era. Zen
era.
Daddy.
Zen Daddy. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. And I can't wait for the music too. I love Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, and man, they're gonna have so much to play with for that score.
Blumhouse is about to have a huge year.
I gotta say, the M3GAN 2 trailer, I think it looks like a lot of fun.
It's crazy. So M3GAN 2, the first trailer was released online post CinemaCon. It introduces the plot, and it shows Amelia, who is a new military-grade weapon gone rogue. And what happened was the designs for, I can't remember the main character's name.
Why not?
The woman.
How dare you?
Her designs for M3GAN got stolen and used to build another robot by somebody else. for nefarious means, and she's basically like this super hitman assassin that's just killing people.
She looks like Alita.
Yeah, this looks like Alita Battle Angel mixed with Spy Kids. And then, but they've put Megan's AI. She's put Megan's AI into like a little safe robot that's like on the counter so that they can communicate with Megan. And Megan's just sort of campy and funny now, and is not looking to murder people anymore because she just wants to be put in a new body. So she makes a deal with them in order to stop this other robot, Amelia. Megan's like, just put me in a body, guys. I'll be nice. I
know how to kill her.
I know how to kill her. Yeah, I want a body. And so they give her a body, an upgrade. She's like adult-sized body now, and she goes after Amelia, and even Megan gets a second chance.
It's this movie is so unhinged. This trailer is so bonkers and ridiculous. I actually really liked it. I was giggling watching this trailer.
Hold on to your vaginas.
Hold on to your vagina. There's a scene where she's flying like Iron Man. Like, what the fuck?
It was like the suit, like the bat suit.
Okay, yeah, like wings and stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't like a jetpack.
Okay, gotcha. But I thought it was just like, it's so absurd that it looks like it really works in a fun way. It looks like it's like going to be very funny. Like,
yeah.
Because there are sequences just in the trailer and I was cackling because it's so over the top and it's so absurd. But, I mean, I think that's the direction they're going for, and it's a good direction, and they know who their audience is. I gotta say, I didn't really like Megan, but I'm gonna watch this movie. I'm gonna watch this. It looks like a really fun, silly, weird horror movie. It mashes so many things together, and it just looks so insane. It can't not be entertaining.
We were talking about like the direction they went, where it's like, of course, the easy thing to do is just to make Megan 2 where she's evil. You know, it's like Chucky 2. Like, keep making Chucky evil, keep making Megan evil, same kind of blueprints. Or you make her a good person, a good character for a little bit, and maybe at the end of the movie she turns bad and goes rogue.
Yeah.
That's my guess is what's going to happen, so I can set up a third film.
It's the only way that it makes sense to restart her again.
Yeah,
and
also, to get her in a different body.
And her directive is to protect the girl no matter what.
Yeah.
So she does have kind of like a good directive and intention, but once she defeats Amelia, what's going to happen to the people? We'll see. Moving on to Five Nights at Freddy, James.
The first teaser for Five Nights at Freddy's 2 reveals the animatronics out in the real world causing chaos, including killing a teacher in a school. So, I mean,
why not,
same
man?
thing. Like, go bigger.
Why not?
Don't stay in the pizza place. Get the fuck out of there.
I didn't read that earlier.
And then we have Black Phone 2, which I cannot wait for. This first teaser was shown at CinemaCon for the Black Phone 2. It reveals the film is set in a winter camp, with the phone conversation now happening in a telephone box. Ethan Hawke's character, the Grabber, is also shown skating across ice to kill someone in a scene.
Interesting. So he's physically returned.
Yeah.
How did they do that? You're gonna have to find out.
We'll find out.
Yeah, movie magic.
When we see the trailer, I'm sure we'll get it. We'll understand.
All right, next up.
We're out of CinemaCon now. But, oh no, we're not.
There's still some CinemaCon
Okay,
stuff.
never mind. I
It's
lied.
just like this. It's mixed. It's
Yeah.
sprinkled. I was not expecting this news today. There is a new Friday movie in the works with Ice Cube set to return, which is really exciting. But I will only be very excited if Chris Tucker also returns. You need to have Chris Tucker in the DNA of the Friday movie franchise. I mean, we saw that with the sequels. They're good, but like, it never was like with Chris Tucker. You're gonna have that.
I feel. What are they gonna do? They're so old now.
That's the problem with these legacy sequels. It's sometimes it's like, what is it gonna be?
Unless I guess maybe it's his son's in the movie too, and he's like passing on the reins of being.
Oh my God,
Craig Jr.
Craig Jr. Little Craig.
I don't know.
Gonna have Chris Tucker though.
Yeah, gotta have Chris Tucker. Roof Man is a new movie coming soon. They released the first trailer at CinemaCon. It follows Channing Tatum as a polite thief who robbed 60 McDonald's and lives in a Toys R Us after escaping from prison. I think this is based loosely off a true story.
True story.
Also stars Kirsten Dunst, Peter Dinklage, and Lakeith Stanfield.
Great cast.
Yeah.
Excellent cast. I'm excited for it. Next up, news about the Beatles. Sam Mendes, as we all know, is making 4 films based on the Beatles. Each film will be centered upon each specific Beatle. Paul Mescal.
The Beezels.
The Beezels. The Measles. Paul Mescal will be playing Paul McCartney. Great casting. Harris Dickinson will play John Lennon. The font is very small in this one in particular.
Yeah, but you know
It's
who
Shrek.
Harris Dickinson is.
I know who he is. I'm aware. Joseph Quinn as George Harrison and Barry Keoghan as Ringo Starr. These films about the Fab Four will all come out in April 2026, which I think is a really interesting idea. I'm very excited. This is really the only way I think to do the Beatles stories, to do separate films, because there's so much to go over. I'm really looking forward to this. I think Sam Mendes is one of the best directors working. He's phenomenal. He can do anything. He's done every genre, and I think he's a perfect choice for capturing the story of the Beatles. And I'm so excited for this. I'm going to see every single one of them.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I wonder what the performances are going to be. I'm sure the Paul and John's will be the biggest box office hits. And, I think the John Lennon one will make the most money. If I was going to say which one audiences would go to the most, might be John. But Paul, I think Paul's always been my favorite Beatle. People love Ringo. Yeah, but it's like Summer from 500 Days of Summer. It's like obscure.
Nobody loves Ringo. That's why I love him. He's nobody's favorite. But but also you got Barry Keoghan. So big draw. Great casting too.
Let's talk about The Hunger Games. The prequel is set for a 2026 release. It's called Sunrise on the Reaping. This will follow Haymitch as he goes through his Hunger Games. And I believe I saw that they may have found their actor to portray Haymitch. I can't remember who it was, but like 20 years old.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha. It won't be Woody Harrelson playing 16-year-old. Just put a wig on him. Just put a bushy wig on him. Give him some big clothes. Hey guys, I'm Haymitch. They did it in Dexter.
Ridiculous.
Why not, man? All right, next up, John Wick 5 has officially been announced by Lionsgate. Keanu Reeves has confirmed to be returning alongside a John Wick animated prequel, which will tell the story of his impossible night where he took out all of his enemies in one night.
I don't like it.
It's too much.
That's one of my favorite parts about the characters. We don't see that.
The mystery is the mystery of the Baba Yaga is the magic of the first John Wick movie.
In the character.
Yeah. It's like, when you take that away, it's just you're taking away the mysticism of him.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we've said multiple times, especially after this got announced, they're just going to milk the fuck out of John Wick. They're going to tie him up and just milk him
Ben Stiller
for years. Years.
Oh my God.
If Ballerina's a hit, it's never going to stop. I love John Wick. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't want to sound like I don't like John Wick. I love John Wick so much. I love those movies. But they need to slow down a bit.
The thing is, because we talked, it honestly was a perfect ending at the end of John Wick 4.
Yeah,
it was a fucking
awesome ending.
It's like you can't end it better. And so when you make another one, you take away that whole entire cathartic moment. Mm-hmm. Like, what was the point of that conclusion of him dying on the steps, thinking about his wife, finally done and ready to move on, and then you just make another one? So what was the point of all that?
It's a little too much.
Well, maybe we'll finally see the high table.
Yeah, maybe. Let's talk about The Running Man back on Glen Powell. Edgar Wright star.
Sorry.
Sorry. What the fuck was that? Edgar Wright's adaptation starring Glen Powell debuted its first trailer at CinemaCon, set for November 2025 release, promising a fresh take on this dystopian classic book, as well as the original film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Cannot wait to see this trailer. I cannot wait.
And Edgar Wright is specifically distancing himself from the first film. It's not a remake of the first film. He's calling it a more faithful adaptation of the Stephen King book.
Sweet.
So it's not going to be basically like the first film at
As
all.
absurdist.
Yeah. So I can't wait for it. And Glen Powell talked about how Tom Cruise gave him tips for running on screen. And he said when he first talked to Tom about the project, Tom told him to film himself running immediately because you don't look as cool as you think you do when you run, which I think is a great tip. Let's talk about some posters that were revealed. The Hunt for Gollum, there's a poster revealed.
Oh, I want to see this.
It's someone in a cave, a silhouette. Clayface, there's a poster revealed. It's Clayface front and center. Jumanji 3 revealed its poster with just the logo, but instead of the number 3, it's 3 eyes at the end of Jumanji, which is clever. Street Fighter revealed its poster, which is like a logo reveal of Street Fighter. And then also CinemaCon had a poster reveal of Supergirl, and it's an image of Supergirl. Behind Supergirl, she's wearing a hoodie and a jacket, blending in with the city in front of her. So these are on display at the CinemaCon, Caesar's Palace, Pizza Palace.
CinemaCon. I'm trying to find the Gollum one.
It's in the image I showed you earlier.
So it's that big image of all of them.
Someone took photos of like the big banner screen image of all the posters.
Oh man, that's so cool.
Yeah. It's probably just concept art, but
Yeah.
I think a lot of these aren't exactly like the posters they'll distribute, but it's concept art, some of them for CinemaCon.
Yeah, like there's one for the Odyssey that's there. That's not.
I doubt
an
it.
official-
That's why I didn't put it on the
Yeah.
list. It doesn't seem.
It's not an official image.
Yeah.
It was a fan made one. But
I made it.
You're not that good at Photoshop. We both know that.
I am good. I'm great at Photoshop. What are you talking about? Just because you do the Photoshop for the show doesn't mean I'm not good at Photoshop. Okay, well, try editing as fast as me, motherfucker.
I'm pretty good these days. Let's talk about Masters of the Universe.
Not as fast as me.
The footage of the live-action Masters of the Universe movie was shown, the first footage, at CinemaCon. It features all of the He-Man characters in their iconic costumes, and Jared Leto appeared as Skeletor, although only as a hooded figure with no face.
I think with Skeletor, you gotta do it prosthetics. Try to do it as much as you can prosthetics.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
I don't think they will. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
Definitely not.
They could do something. They could whip it together.
All right, let's talk about the next one.
Predator Badlands. This film's hitting theaters November 7th, 2025. So, what, 5 months from now? That's crazy. Literally 5 months. They revealed the first still and logo, and the photo got leaked online if you want to check it out. It's a still of someone wearing, is it Elle Fanning's character wearing this like mechanical mask of some kind to breathe in the atmosphere of this planet?
It looked like Predator to me.
Okay, it could be Predator.
Yeah, it looked like a Predator mask and a robe. He's got those. They look pretty big.
Yeah, I think it was
Like
Predator.
pretty jacked.
Yeah, I think it was Predator.
Predators wear metal masks.
That's true, yeah.
It's just like he had like dreads.
I glanced at it.
He had this giant knife arm. Like
That's both. No, you're lying now. You're lying.
His
That's not
skin
true.
was scaly.
That's not true.
Do you think it was
Predator's skin's not scaly. He has no scales. It's
think it was-
smooth. It's silky smooth. It's like an amphibian skin. He's got silky smooth skin. He doesn't have scales. He's a jacked frog.
He had giant fangs, so I couldn't tell if it was Elle Fanning or not.
Get out of here! All right, back to it. Elle Fanning addressed the crowd about its intense premise, which introduces a narrative where an outcast predator that no one likes anymore
What bullies him?
is depicted as the good guy in this story, a significant departure from the traditional portrayal of predators as honorable hunters. This new storyline has sparked debate among fans. Some argue that predators have always displayed a nuanced morality, suggesting they are not inherently evil but rather neutral or even good due to their selective hunting ethics. Conversely, others believe this shift undermines the core identity of Predator as a fearsome hunter. The film features Elle Fanning, who plays Tia, a character that teams up with Predator on a planet of hurt, where the Predator is now the hunted. The setting and character dynamic promise an epic exploration of the Predator universe, challenging fans' perceptions of the species' moral alignment. So it seems like other predators will be hunting them.
Other monsters.
It might be other predators hunting them.
But it's also other monsters. So the trailer, we need to see the trailer for ourselves to finally understand the grasp of what's going on here. But it seems like similar to a lot of movies these days, they're taking villains and turning them good. Obviously, doesn't mean all predators are good, but I wouldn't say that predators have always been morally ambiguous. I mean, the first movie, that's the baseline of predators. It's just it's a monster that's hunting. It's not good or bad, I guess you could say.
It's got a job to do.
It's just that's what species does. They
Yeah.
hunt, they kill, they murder, and we gotta see that dynamic for ourselves to really get the whole team up thing.
The thing is with the predators is they travel the universe to hunt the most dangerous game around the universe for sport and as like a means of proving themselves to their society and honor. But I don't think that's very moral at all. I think there's no moral ambiguity there. They hunt innocent creatures for honor and glory at their home planet. I don't think there's any moral ambiguity there. It's a pretty gnarly thing to do, but it's their culture and you don't judge them for it, so it's who they are. And I love the Predator. Here's the thing. I'm just being honest here. I don't want to explore the perception of the Predator's moral alignment. I don't know what the fuck that means. No thanks. Maybe it'll be cool, but I don't I don't like that idea. I don't love it.
A lot of Hollywood movies, they turn villains good. I mean, look at M3GAN. M3GAN's a good guy now, or good girl now. Same kind of thing.
Because they did that in AVP. The Shauna Lathan teams up with Predator.
Yeah.
But they're trapped in the pyramid surrounded by xenomorphs, so you kind of are forced to pair up as best you can.
Yeah.
They had a little buddy cop dynamic. That was pretty fun, but it was only for like the third act of the movie. But it's because they're very, so maybe it'll be like that, but again, I was 13 when I saw that. I don't like that movie.
Maybe it'll work. We'll see.
But again, so Predator AVP, it wasn't exploring the morality of Predator. It was like, yo, we need each other to get out of here alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like
Predator was basically like, oh, you're not just a limp dick hanging around.
Exactly.
You can
I
help,
could use
you. can
you.
help me.
Yeah.
I can do something with you.
he could do it. Anyways,
What can I use you for?
I'm saying he worked at the airport.
And before we continue, go to movieposters.com today to get your movie posters. We have a coupon code with our friends there, Raiders10 to get 10% off, plus an affiliate link that gets us 10% commission for every time you purchase a poster. That link is in the description of this episode on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, also in our Instagram bios. Use the link, we get 10% commission. Use the coupon code, Raiders10, you get 10% off. It's a win-win for everybody. Movieposters.com. Let's talk about The Bride. CinemaCon got its first footage from Maggie Gyllenhaal as The Bride, revealing her and Frankenstein's monster's origins and causing chaos in an already monstrous world. It follows an eccentric Bonnie and Clyde type story that starts with Christian Bale as Frankenstein's monster fawning over movie stars in a movie theater.
Cute.
I'm looking forward to seeing.
You had me at Christian Bale.
You had, yeah. Anything Frankenstein, sign me up.
You had me. Next up, a new Keanu movie, which sounds really fun. Good Fortune revealed its first trailer at CinemaCon. Keanu Reeves plays a budget guardian angel who tries to teach Aziz Ansari's character that wealth doesn't fix problems, but it fails.
I'm curious to see finally something from the Jonah Hill directed movie that Keanu stars in.
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't at CinemaCon, but...
Well, maybe it's coming out later in 2026.
Yeah, or maybe this year.
Maybe they're not ready.
Every movie goes to CinemaCon, you know?
Yeah, not all of them.
It's mostly just the big IP stuff or big studio stuff. That's probably an independent movie. But that one I'm curious about, too, where he plays a movie star, like a fading movie star.
Yeah, that one I think it could be independently produced, possibly, but not sure about it.
Let's talk about the SpongeBob movie. A trailer teased SpongeBob's biggest adventure yet, including a trip to the underworld. Mark Hamill is coming back as the Flying Dutchman, which is really funny.
Excellent.
Also, I believe it's going to be revealed that he's a fan of Snoop Dogg, SpongeBob. But yeah, he's going to go against the Flying Dutchman. It's called The SpongeBob Movie Search for SquarePants.
That's funny. That's funny. That's a good title. Next up, the live-action adaptation of The Legend of Zelda finally released its release date. It's going to come out March 2027.
Nice.
Yeah.
Also, I Know What You Did Last Summer revealed its first footage at CinemaCon, showing Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character returning in a town hall meeting about another serial killer murder.
I've been here before. I know what it takes.
Trust me.
I know what we're facing.
Sit down, Mr. Prince Jr. We don't want your opinions. You gotta listen to me, guys. I already know that scene. They didn't listen to me. It's okay.
You don't know what you're facing.
We have to stop him ourselves. That's it right there.
Yeah,
That's probably the scene.
Yeah. All right, next up, we got some trailers. My favorite trailer of the week, Fountain of Youth.
Fuck yeah.
From Guy Ritchie, Apple TV. This stars John Krasinski, Natalie Portman, Itza Gonzalez. Releases May 23rd on Apple Television. This is a globe-trotting blend of Indiana Jones and National Treasure. Krasinski and Portman play brother and sister, and they go on this adventure to find the real Fountain of Youth. It looks so fun. It looks exciting. Excellent action. Cool set pieces. I love the story. This is great. This is what we need more of. I think this is the best looking thing I've seen Apple make. And it just looks really great.
It's like Indiana Jones and James Bond had a baby.
I loved it.
It looks fucking sick.
I watched this trailer and I was like, yes, let's go adventure.
Krasinski, just a tall, handsome man.
Tall drink of water.
Just with a great beard. He's going on adventures, globetrotting. He's doing donuts with a convertible.
Yeah, oh my God.
He's fighting people. He's going on adventures. This is what I want, man.
Yeah, this is
Inject
great.
this into my veins.
This is great.
And Natalie Portman as his sister. Super smart. It's going to be a great movie.
Man.
I can't fucking wait.
This is great. This is perfect.
Guy Ritchie as the director.
Yeah.
It's a win-win-win.
It looked excellent.
That's what I'm talking about.
This
is what I'm talking about.
Fuck yeah, let's go. Fountain of Youth.
Also, the Naked Gun trailer. This looks so ridiculous and funny. Naked Gun, one of the best spoof franchises that really made that genre super popular in a lot of ways, was changing comedy, especially for cinema. Leslie Nielsen really just was a star.
Leslie Nielsen.
Was a star. And now Liam Neeson plays his character's son, Frank Jr., in this legacy sequel reboot, and it looks ridiculous. It looks bonkers. It opens with a bank robbery, all these people going to take over a bank, and they have hostages, and then a little girl goes in, past the
licking
cops,
a lollipop,
and then she turns into Liam Neeson in a skirt, and like, what the fuck? It looks ridiculous.
It looks really fun, and you got the old characters back, and a bunch of them are looking at the predecessors of the old films, and then you get Liam Neeson looking at.
Well, they're all the sons of the fathers from the old movies,
and all the old characters are portraits, and Liam Neeson's looking at the portrait of Leslie Nielsen, saying, "I'm gonna live up to you," or whatever. But then OJ's character's son looks at his portrait, and he looks at the camera, and he's like, nah. It's so good. It's so funny. I mean, this looks like it has a lot of potential to be really irreverent, bonkers, and just laugh out loud.
All right. The year of Jack Quaid continues.
Oh, yeah.
This guy doesn't stop.
Yeah.
He's leading 3 movies this year, plus The Boys filming. Neighborhood Watch. The first trailer for The Neighborhood Watch dropped. It's a new thriller starring Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Jack Quaid. Jack plays this guy who seems to have some mental disturbances and trouble. He's maybe got some sort of schizophrenia. He sees things, and he witnesses a woman get kidnapped. The police don't believe him because of his background and his history and his rap sheet, but he goes and finds this neighbor of his who he knows was a former detective to help him figure out what happened to this girl that got kidnapped.
Looks good.
Yeah,
it looks good. Next up.
Like, the guy's on fire.
All in the first half of the year.
Insane. 3 movies before May that he's starring in.
Wow.
That's nuts.
Wow. Next up. Lilo and Snitch.
What happened there?
Lilo and Snitch. He snitches. You can't trust him. He's a snitch. Lilo and Stitch dropped its first full clip, and it's the clip of them at the restaurant outside, and the server's asking if that's a dog, and it's pretty much beat for beat the same as the animated film. They also dropped a new trailer and teaser. Looks cute. Looks very cute.
It's going to be tough to, I think, live up to the animated movie, because the animated movie is so silly and fun, and I don't know. We'll see.
James doesn't sound happy about it.
I'm not.
James does not sound optimistic at all.
About Lilo and
It's going to be hard for them.
Snitch.
You know,
It's
my
gonna
favorite
be.
movie, Lilo and Stitch, which I see regularly. You haven't seen that shit in 20 years, man. Get out of here.
Whoa, I can't. I'm making a simple comment about a
saying.
movie. Whoa,
It's not going to live up to the original, the
defensiveness-
majesty of the original
the
Lilo.
defensiveness over Lilo and Stitch over there. Goodness, I didn't know you were such a big Lilo and Stitch fan.
I'm not.
Do you have like a Stitch tattoo or
I
something?
never said I was going to see this movie.
No, well,
I said it looked cute.
You're being so defensive about it. You have to be a huge fan.
You're being defensive about it. Are you?
Yeah.
Whoa. You're the one being defensive about it.
No, what was I defensive about?
You said, I don't know if it's ever going to live up to the original.
That's not being be defensive at all. You're being defensive of my critique of the movie. Do you understand defensiveness?
I'm making fun of your critique of it.
See, you're being double defensive.
No. I was teasing you about your critique. I was giving you shit.
But I wasn't being defensive at all. All I said was, I don't know if this movie will live up to the hype. That's not being defensive.
That's being defensive of the original.
What are you talking about?
You're saying you're defending.
What are you
the
talking
original.
about?
You're defending the original.
I know.
The defense of the original. So you're being
Slightly,
defensive.
I was not defensive. I was just a little, slight little sentence, little tiny. I don't know if they can live up to the original.
Yeah.
You need to relax. Get off your jump to conclusions, Matt, over there.
All I did was make fun of your voice.
Shit.
I made fun of you. That's all.
Let's talk about the Odyssey. Everyone's showing up to film right now in Europe. Anne Hathaway,
Everyone in Hollywood.
everyone. Anne Hathaway was spotted the other day getting off a boat, and she linked up with Robert Pattinson and Tom Holland for dinner. Paparazzi and fans were all storming outside the restaurant as they're all leaving. And it's also been reported, this is not confirmed, by a newspaper in Italy, take it with a grain of salt, that Robert Pattinson will be playing Hermes, who is one of the 12 Olympians, obviously. Herald of the gods, messenger of the gods, protector of human heralds, travelers, thieves, merchants, and orators. He appears 3 times in the story of the Odyssey. Again, not confirmed. It's just a rumor.
Cool.
But the three of them had dinner, which is very cute.
What did they eat? I wonder. I don't know. What a great set to be on. Imagine just chilling. You're on a
Fucking
Christopher Nolan ancient epic.
Like the
in
amount
Greece.
of A-listers that are there filming this movie.
Yeah, that's great.
It's nuts.
We have new news about the upcoming Resident Evil live-action adaptation. Zach Kreger, the director and writer, says Resident Evil will focus on one central protagonist going on a point A to point B journey, falling more into a hellish territory. In theaters, September 26th.
I'm very excited about this.
Yeah, that sounds great.
His new movie Weapons comes
Keep
out
it
this
simple
year as well.
Keep it simple, man.
We got some news from Danny Philippou and Michael Philippou's latest film, the filmmakers behind Talk to Me. They got their first poster release for their upcoming film, Bring Her Back, new horror possession movie, in theaters May 30th.
Oh, very soon.
Good poster.
Good pick. Good poster. Good poster. Next up, an adaptation of Stephen King's The Long Walk will release September 12th in theaters. This stars Cooper Hoffman, David Johnson, Ben Wang, Charlie Plummer, Judy Greer, and Mark Hamill.
Crazy cast. Judy Greer, is that Richard Greer's daughter? Oh, no, it's spelled differently.
She's in a bunch of movies.
Spelled
She was in
differently.
Jurassic World.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's in a bunch of stuff.
Ton of movies.
13 going on 30.
Classic.
Classic movie.
Great supporting actress in a ton of movies.
Crime 101. This is one we've been chatting about here and there on the show. It's a new crime thriller starring Chris Hemsworth, Halle Berry, Mark Ruffalo, and Barry Keoghan. The thriller follows jewel thefts going around the Pacific coast, while a detective zeroes in on a thief looking for a final score. Theaters, in 2026.
Nice. Halle Berry and Chris Hemsworth together. Woo!
Good looking cast.
Next up, an adaptation of Sylvester Stallone's life turning Rocky into a film is in development. It's called I Play Rocky, and it would follow a young Sly Stallone and the dramatic journey he took to get Rocky made. Peter Farrelly is set to direct. This is from Amazon MGM.
3 Bags Full, a sheep detective story. It's a real title. 3 Bags Full, a sheep detective story, follows a flock of sheep who must solve the brutal murder of their shepherd, played by Hugh Jackman, also starring Bryan Cranston, Patrick Stewart, and Emma Thompson.
That's cute. That's funny. Next up, Mercy has been announced. This follows Chris Pratt as a man trapped on a chair who must prove to an AI courtroom in 90 minutes that he didn't murder his wife.
He also teased the upcoming season of The Terminal List, which they are
what'd he
shooting
say?
right now. He says the footage they've been getting is insane. They set the bar really high. It's going to be absolutely bonkers. And if you're a fan of the show, which we are, get excited.
Hell fucking yes. I want some brutal action.
Sign me up. Let's talk about the Michael Jackson film from Antoine Fuqua, which got delayed recently, and it's not coming out until October 3rd, 2025. It may be split into 2 films. We'll see. And it reflects on the complexity of covering Michael Jackson's life.
Interesting. Roadhouse 2 with Jake Gyllenhaal might have a new director in Guy Ritchie who's in talks to direct the film.
And our final bit of news in this crazy jam-packed episode of movie news is not just a goof. This is a new trailer for a documentary about the making of a Goofy movie releasing on April 7th on Disney+. Looks really sweet, really cool to see the process behind an animated classic from our childhood. A lot of you listeners love this film, and this documentary looks really great.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah, very good stuff. Wow, what a crazy packed episode.
That was wild. Oh my god.
What's your favorite bit of news? I'm gonna say maybe Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for me.
My favorite bit of news. Oh, I was not ready for this question. Hold on, I gotta scroll through it. It's I would say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood too.
Copycat.
It's great news. It's a great story.
It is a great start. All right, everyone, be sure to subscribe on Patreon at patreon.com/Raiders of the Lost Podcast. Subscribe on YouTube. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews on Spotify and Apple. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok. Share all our videos. We got some great episodes coming to you this upcoming week. We're going to be chatting about the upcoming summer blockbuster releases in a preview episode tomorrow, as well as a great movie chat on Wednesday. And we'll get some other stuff going.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks so much for tuning in, and take care.
See you next time.